My name is, and this is my voice. First day on testosterone.
And this is my voice 1 month on T. This is my voice 2 months. This is my voice 3 months. This is my voice 4 months. This is my voice 5. This is my voice 6 months. This is my voice 7 months. And this is my voice 8 months. This is my voice 1 year on testosterone. Hi, my name is and this is my voice 2 years on testosterone.
What was it like when you first came out as trans?
I first came out to you, obviously. And you were really accepting, so then I told my mom, and she kind of was just like, no, like, it's a phase at first. And then after a while, she realized it wasn't a phase. And then I think like the third person I told was your mom at the 4th of July party, picnic, or whatever. And then I kind of just like, I didn't necessarily tell everyone else. I kind of just like, my mom pretty much kind of, I changed my name on everything, so like kind of it was like obvious. And then when they asked, I kind of told them, and then if they had questions, I answered their questions that they had, or at least tried my best to like explain the questions that they had for me. Grandparents definitely didn't understand. 100% they expected it to be a phase, but I didn't blame them because I was like 11, 12, I think, at the time. So I was necessarily young, but I feel like I've always known since I was like younger. It's just necessarily I didn't know what it was until I was that age, and then I found out and did more research and found out that's who it was. Me and my dad get into arguments about it a few times, about me wanting to be trans, but it's not necessarily like a want. It's kind of just like happened. It's not like I wanted it to happen and everything. My grandmother's the one I blocked on Facebook. And I only really see her for like family events and stuff like that. I don't really like her. In reality, she's rude. In the nicest way possible, I guess. My other grandmother, I had to pretty much like tell her off a few times and kind of like threatened to kick her out of my life, even though I didn't want to, because she didn't really grasp it. And then after I did that, she grasped it and kind of realized it wasn't a phase, and I'm not like messing with her, and she kind of needs to like extra respect it. And it's not how she grew up anymore. It's 2025 now, and it's been almost 5 years since I've came out, so needs to get her act right. Before I started passing, people looked at me weird. They didn't really know what to like take of it, especially like my mom and my dad. I feel like my dad took it a little bit harder than my mom, and if my mom did take it harder, she didn't express it to me. Definitely feel like my dad felt like he lost like his relationship with me, because I was always like a dad's girl and everything like that. And then I feel like after I came out, it was more so he felt like he just like didn't feel like he could like bond with me or anything, or didn't like know how to. And I definitely know that he doesn't understand it, because the one time he told me I wanted to be trans, and that definitely was like, no, you don't understand it, even though I've tried to explain it to him numerous times. But like people that didn't know me, it was definitely confusing for them, especially after I cut my hair, because my voice was not, like, obviously you could tell, like I tried deepening it, but like obviously you couldn't do anything against hormones. And then after I stopped, because I was on puberty blockers, and that helped me not go further into puberty, so that helped the most. And I had a binder on, but like my voice kind of like just threw everyone off. And like more so since testosterone did like change my facial structure a little bit and everything, and made it more defined. People were just kind of confused. They didn't know what to call me. They were just like, so they kind of always just like called me Chic. They just thought I was like a tomboy and everything like that. And then once I got on testosterone, I think it was 2022. When I was turning, I think it was 14. Because they were worried about the testosterone exceeding the puberty for a teenage guy, and I was like, okay. So May 10th of 2022, I'm pretty sure it was, I did my first shot of testosterone, and then over the first like few months, you could see you could see the voice change. It wasn't more so physical appearance, it was definitely the voice change. Definitely sounded like rough. It wasn't necessarily like the best. It was rough. The voice cracks were insane. But after I started passing, guys automatically assume, like, because there's no reason not to assume that I'm not cis. In all reality, I do forget that I'm trans sometimes. So it's nice because like they don't know, and then even when my friends do find out, my friends, they don't care. And they just kind of treat me like any other guy because they don't know, and even if they do find out, they really don't care. Like, especially in culinary, my friends that found out, they literally looked me in the eyes and told me they didn't care, and they're just like, okay, I didn't know. And then they're like, I didn't even know you had a dead name. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and then my one friend was like, no way. I'm like, yeah. And I showed her a picture of me before I transitioned, and she's like, that's not you. I'm like, yeah, it is me. And she just didn't believe me. She's like, no. And she's like, I could never imagine you being like that. And I'm like, yeah, because that never was me. And she's like, yeah, I can tell. She's like, ill. And I'm like, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, ill's right. She's like, I can never imagine you like staying like that. I'm like, neither can I. Like, that's just like nothing I could imagine like living as, like, because that's not who I am. Because I feel normal and not how people make you feel once they find out, and they make you feel like you're not a human being, you're just like someone else, and you're just like weird or like a freak or something like that. Like, they treat you like any like normal human being, like how they would treat like their best friend, their like own brother, or like their own kid. Like, they don't care. And like, you do realize like the shift people have once like you start fitting in and you start passing and everything like that. And then before, like, the shift is insane, and I feel like that shift should not be there. I was diagnosed when I was like after 5th grade with anxiety and depression, but I was recently reanalyzed and just diagnosed with severe depression. But there is like a concern for anxiety and other issues like that. I wouldn't say it's like the main like contributor to the mental issues. There's definitely more to it. But with the bullying aspect that I had in middle school, and a little bit going into high school, and some issues I did have in high school currently still, it definitely affected how I thought of myself and my worth to other people, because it was kind of just like people treated you like you were just like a freak, and it was like not okay, and I was just like, no. And it definitely, like, it's more so body issues, because I wasn't born in the right body and everything like that. That's like the main contributor to like body dysphoria and dysmorphia and everything like that. But with the bullying aspect and how other people treat you, it definitely does contribute to your anxiety, just like even going out to public. Especially with the whole bathroom situation out in public, it's definitely difficult. Especially with like political issues, especially with them now going back and reanalyzing those issues for whatever reason. It's definitely stressful and puts a big impact on your mental health.
Do you mind going deeper into the bullying and what that was like?
It was mainly online because it was like when COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people really just like told me to kill myself, and that it wasn't real and it was fake, and I was making it up, and but I should just kill myself because it's not okay and it's not normal, and it's they'll bring religion into it and say it's like not against, like, it's against God. God doesn't want you to be like it. My grandmother ended up doing that to me in my own house on Thanksgiving, telling me the whole reason she couldn't get my pronouns proper and my name and everything was because I had cross earrings in at the time, and she told me that that's the reason she couldn't do all of that, which is bullshit, because God made you who you are and everything like that. So I don't think they have a right to bring religion and anything into that. I want to get top surgery. My plan is to get that hopefully as soon as possible, because the sooner the better, honestly. I only really want top surgery. Bottom surgery is just like, that's terrifying. You know, surgery in general is terrifying to me. So at least that one thing I know it will make me feel 100% more comfortable in my body. I feel like by the time I'm 18, with who's in office right now, because it's only 2 years until I'm 18, not even. I'm turning 17 this year. So time's really ticking, and how the political issues in the world right now is just, I don't think I'm going to be able to have the best luck with probably finding a doctor that will be able to do it without getting in trouble. Or with all honestly, without me getting hurt or something like that, trying to get it, or looking for the help to get it. Because not a lot of doctors will do it. They will, but also my parents also don't want me to regret it, and they want me to be able to be 18 and be able to say I want to do it, which I don't blame them, and I'm okay with waiting until I'm 18 years old.
What was the changing your name legally like? How was that experience?
It was rough. I had my family there to support me. I had my grandmother, both my parents, my sister's boyfriend, which is like a best friend of me, and I consider him my brother, and my aunt's family, and they all came to support me. It was nerve-wracking. I didn't really know what to do, because my mom was preparing me for it, and because we all knew, like, it was something that I had to do, and it was something I was asking for. Because number one, it was getting really difficult with school. One teacher kept, like, on the one paper, wrote down my dead name, and I had an incident with, like, all these, like, kids, and I ended up having to, like, talk to my teacher and kind of be like, dude, this isn't okay. And he's like, oh, there's nothing I can do about it. So I kind of was like, okay, like, you're a dick. Moved on and told my mom, and that was like my mom's kind of like last process of it. So she's like, we're gonna get your name legally changed. I'm like, okay. The judge asked why. My mom had like this entire thing because me and her talked about it. My mom told the judge everything on why I wanted to change my name, and I was a mess. I was terrified. I was shaking, especially after they called us up because there was like people I didn't know in the room, all doing the same thing but definitely not for the same reason. It was just like terrifying. It was my first time in a courtroom. The judge was extremely nice, and she approved, obviously, after my mom told her why, and the whole reason why is because obviously that's not who I am, and my mom made it very clear it's not a phase because it's not. And the judge was like, okay, and she approved. We got the papers, and then over the time, my mom sent my birth certificate and to get it changed. And then my passport still needs to I just need to get my picture changed. That's all I gotta do. So I can officially get the passport with my name on it, because I obviously don't look anything like I did in 2021. And it was a good process. It was just nerve-wracking and terrifying, and a lot of emotions. A lot of people cried.
Yeah. With being so confident in your identity now and all that, how does it feel? How do you feel?
I don't really think about it all that much, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't really like remember half the time that I am trans until like there's some days that it's just like, like why? Like why did it have to be this way? But other than that, I don't really like notice it or like choose to acknowledge. I don't really know which one. It's kind of just like I'm a teenage boy, because I am. I have my friends. Me and my friends just hang out. They don't care. They forget. They tell me so many times that they forget. They're like, I can't even tell. Like, they're like, I forgot. Like, the amount of times, like, they think they'll look at me and be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I forgot. And I'll be like, oh, I forgot too. I didn't realize, like, why are you apologizing to me? Like, I don't think it really affects me that much unless, like, I'm in my head about it some days. Like, some days I'll have to go in and, like, change my clothes because I'm like, no, like, I feel like I look more feminine than I do, like, how I want to look. And I feel like people will be able to tell if I dress differently, like, the one day. if I didn't transition, I would not be here today because transitioning does save lives and everything like that.